Hey, what's up, Golden Ones? It's your boy, the Golden Adonis, and today I'm going to be watching the Scream 7 trailer that just came out. Very excited that we're getting another Scream movie. Very excited that we finally got the trailer for this because there have been rumors that this was coming out any day now, and so we got it officially today. I am a huge Scream fan, an OG Scream fan. I've been watching since the original when it came out around that during that time. So I'm excited to hop right in. I don't really know anything else other than that. You know, some tidbits here and there, and that Sydney is back and Gail is back. So I'm excited to see what this trailer is gonna be like. I know there's a lot of controversy and people are boycotting and all this stuff behind the scenes. Some people want to watch it, some people don't want to watch it, some people are gonna try and guilt you into not watching it, and all this other stuff. I will briefly maybe go into some of that at the end of this reaction, but with all that being said, let's hop right in.
This is it.
We're tired of the Marker House. Damn
I
it.
can't believe we're staying at the Psycho Killer B&B.
Wow, they turned it into Airbnb.
Oh, that's so cool. It's a motion detector.
Damn, girl. Okay, gymnast. Petty.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me? Nice little town you found. You and your pretty daughter reminds me of where we grew up.
Well, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Sydney. Not this time.
Down to the end.
I want to be a fighter, like you. If you hurt her.
I'm not going to hurt her until you're here to see it.
Let's unmask this fucker.
Kale, you look good. Shot at Mindy.
Friends died for just being near you.
Where is my daughter? Tatum, listen to me. He's trying to find another way in. We're gonna do this together. You're gonna have to shoot him through the wall. Where? To the right of the door. Shoot him now! Do it now! Oh, you got it. He's dead. You need to make sure you shoot him in the head.
Do it.
I'm gonna burn it all down.
Mother!
The Marker House is on fire. Finally.
This is gonna be fun.
Ooh, I know that voice. So that was my reaction to the Scream 7 trailer. It looks really good, really exciting, really thrilling. A couple of takeaways are we can see that, of course, Sydney's back. Gail is back. Gail looks amazing. Chad and Mindy are back. They look amazing too. And Sydney's daughter. So we got to see that Sydney has a daughter by the name of Tatum. We knew Sydney had kids in Scream 5, but we didn't know how many, I don't think. We didn't know their ages. So she had one that she was with in a stroller, which we didn't see in the trailer, so I'm assuming they're either away or she sends them away for safety, and Tatum, since she's the eldest, she stayed around. Again, really cool that she named her after her best friend Tatum, played by Rose McGowan in the first one. So that's really a cool touch. We see that Sydney, we already know that Sydney's husband, Mark, is not Mark Kincaid. Should have been, but we'll leave it at that. And he looks like he's like a police officer, sheriff, or something of some sort, which we did see him in the trailer. Chad and Mindy are there as well. Don't know what their roles are gonna be specifically in the movie. I couldn't really tell. I have to watch the trailer again, but I also don't want to ruin it for myself. So I may not go and watch the trailer again. Because I do this thing where when I watch Scream trailers, or if I watch trailers in general, I tend to go back and watch it, and I don't want to say I want to look for every nook and cranny, but I look at things and then I kind of have an expectation of like what's gonna happen. There's been some times where they'll put things in the trailer that they actually don't show in the movie and vice versa. So I just feel like I didn't get a full taste of it just watching it the first time. So I might go back and watch it, but I definitely don't want to spoil myself. Sometimes they give too much away in these trailers, like confirmation for people who die and things like that. So I don't know if I don't know. I'm undecided. But the trailer looks really good. How do I feel about like just us having a Scream 7 and all this stuff? And I'm gonna touch on the controversies in a little bit. Again, I'm an OG fan, and I absolutely love Sidney Prescott. I absolutely love Neve Campbell. I think she's like one of the best final girls of all time. So I will always love seeing Sidney and love seeing Neve Campbell. But I don't want to see her. I don't want to see Sidney. And I say this because, once again, I'm a huge fan of the character and a huge fan of Neve Campbell, I have to sit through another movie where essentially she's going through it and she's suffering. The character deserves a happy ending. She deserves to just be able to live in peace. And I can't find the reasoning behind her having to always go through this stuff. And I know people are going to be like, well, there's no Scream without Sidney. And a lot of OG fans believe this. They truly believe that there's no Scream without Sidney. And I beg to differ. I think that the Ghostface mantle is bigger than Sidney Prescott, right? I think the Ghostface mantle was created out of the Sidney situation, but it's bigger than her. As we saw in Scream 5 and 6, there's copycat killers. And I always say this, anyone could don the Ghostface mask and mantle for whatever reason and come up with whatever reason they want to go on a killing spree. They don't need to have it attached to Sidney. They don't need to have it be some kind of like thing to get to Sidney or get Sidney out. There's no need for that anymore. We're beyond that. And so I just feel like we don't need to constantly have Sidney involved in these storylines or anything and ruin her happiness when she deserves to live in peace. Right, again, anyone could put on that costume, go on a killing spree for whatever the reasons, go after people they want to go after, and it does not need to involve Sidney Prescott. It does not, and this is coming from an OG Day One fan. This idea that Sidney has to be involved, and this idea that the Core 4 was bad, and Sam and Tara were bad, is not true. And what I wanted for 5, 6, and 7 was for 7, this movie, to wrap up a lot of things, to really wrap up the character of Sidney. If we must include Sidney, and she came back in 5, and 6 went the way it happened where she wasn't in that movie because she needed a damn break, and then she came back in 7, and that would have been her last one, I would have been fine with that. We would have gotten Sam's mother, Stu's sister, Leslie Mocker, Sam, Tara, Sidney, Gale, and we would have been able to fully wrap up that Sidney storyline where, okay, we have Sam, we have Billy, who's connected to Sam and connected to Sidney, who's connected to Sam's mother, Leslie, who is Stu's sister, who's connected to Billy, who was there with Sidney, and you know what I'm saying? We would have been able to connect everything in Scream 7 and finish it once and for all. No more Sidney. Sidney can live in peace. She got rid of Stu, tied up the stuff with Billy and Sam's mother and Leslie Mocker, and would have been finito. That's what I wanted for Scream 7. Obviously, things occurred and that didn't happen, and we're not going in that direction with finishing off that kind of trilogy. I'm just glad that Mindy and Chad are in this movie because that also means that Sam and Tara are not forgotten. And a lot of OG fans wanted the characters of Sam and Tara. They wanted this weird Halloween redo where they got rid of Scream 5 and 6 and acted like it didn't happen, or got rid of 5 or got rid of 6. And I'm like, no, Scream has never been known to have continuity issues, and we're not going to start now simply because you guys have an issue with these newer characters who there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with Sam. There's nothing wrong with Tara. There's nothing wrong with Chad, Mindy, the Core 4. There's nothing wrong with them. So even if you don't like how they were written, or you don't like their fans, or you don't like how they survive certain things, it is what it is. I think one of the biggest mistakes would have been to act like those events of 5 and 6 did not happen, and I'm glad that they're including Chad and Mindy in this movie. We do get an explanation for Sam and Tara and where they're at. I know I keep saying Tara and Tara. It's Tara. I mean, I'll go in and out of that. Sorry, guys. But I'm just happy that they are represented in this movie in some kind of way. My hope is that Melissa does come back, right? I know a lot of stuff, and this is going into the controversies, and a lot of people not wanting to see this movie, and not a lot of people believing that this movie should even be made. But I'm a huge fan of the franchise. I'm a huge fan of these characters, including Sam, including Tara, and I want them back. I want Sam back, right? But at the end of the day, I 100% respect Melissa's, right to not come back. And here's the thing, we don't know everything that happened behind the scenes. We don't know if Nev tried to lobby for her. We don't know if Melissa was apologized to and she said, you know what, I'm still not going to do it because you tried to, because of how you guys handle it, which is true, right? I don't like how they handle the Melissa situation at all. I don't respect how they handled the Melissa situation at all. They very well could have ruined her reputation. They tried to ruin her reputation, right? And if they made an apology to her or they made an offer to her and she decided to turn it down, she is well within her right. And I don't blame her whatsoever, because that's your reputation, which you can't play with in Hollywood, and they tried to essentially ruin that. So if she doesn't want to come back, she's 100% entitled to. If down the line they find a way to work things out where she can come back, I want to see her back. I want Sam back. She was my favorite character in 5. And there's another thing. I'm an OG fan, but I'm also a huge fan of Sam and Tara and Chad and Mindy and Scream 5 and Scream 6 as a whole. I'm a huge fan of them as characters and what they brought to the table. I think what my issue, well, I don't even say I have an issue, but when I go online and I see people talking about Sam and talking about Melissa and all that stuff, I laugh most of the time, and I'm like, you guys are just, something's wrong with you. I distinctively remember I went to the theaters to watch Scream 5, and I saw the character of Sam, loved her instantly. I saw Melissa in the role, loved her instantly. I loved Scream 5. I thought it was a great enough movie. I didn't care for the killers. I didn't care for the final act. Similar to 6, I didn't care for the killers or the final act. But everything else I was a fan of. And I was a huge fan of Melissa. And I remember coming back home after watching the movie, and people were upset. People didn't like Melissa. They didn't like her. They didn't like Sam. Everyone kept on saying, and this was, I don't care what anyone says, don't try and rewrite history, because I was there. People were saying how Tara was the best character in the movie. She was better than Sam. She should have been the lead. Yada, yada, yada. All these different things. And no one really liked the character of Sam. No one really liked Melissa in the role. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is who our new lead is. This is terrible. I felt completely differently. I loved her in the role. I loved Melissa. I loved Sam. I related to Sam. I thought Sam was a great character. I thought she was well written. I thought she delivered her lines perfectly. I saw nothing wrong with the character, and tons of other people did. Fast forward to Scream 6, and then everyone is a Melissa fan. All of a sudden, all of you people are Melissa fans all of a sudden, because you didn't care for her before. But because she did a really good job in the movie, she was a great character in that movie, and because of that scene that she had with Tara at the table, and they were talking about how, it mirrored, and it basically was to mirror how people felt about her performance in 5 and how people hated her, and it mirrored that in real life. They had that conversation. You guys all of a sudden felt guilty and you felt bad, and all of a sudden you become Melissa Barrera fans. You become Sam Carpenter fans. All of a sudden, you jump on the bandwagon, and some of you were the same people, and I know this for a fact, some of you were the same people that did not like the character, preferred Tara, and just did not like Melissa in the role. But now, because she killed it in 6, you're now fans, you have her as your profile picture, and then what further pushed it was now you know what she stands for, her public stance on something, and I just always feel it's very performative. It's very, some Melissa, I'm not saying all, but a lot of Melissa fans, the ones who are crazed, are performative, because you weren't checking for her in 5. You only started checking for her after a performance in 6, and once you took a stance on something, now all of a sudden you're changing your profile picture to her and you have a flag. When you did not care. You did not care about anything prior to this. So it's just, it's you fans that make the sum of the OG fans feel like the core 4 and just everything is to be hated on. But again, I look at my OG fans and I'm like, you guys are being ridiculous thinking that Sydney doesn't need a break. You can't possibly tell me you love the character of Sydney but want her to suffer more. You can't tell me you love the character of Sydney and want something to possibly happen to her loved ones, her daughter, her kids, and people in her life. You can't tell me that. You can't possibly tell me that. I love the character of Sydney, therefore I wanted the character of Sydney to be at rest and not in a dead way. And we all know Sydney's not gonna die. So why are we bringing her back when there's no stakes? The catch is we're gonna bring her back and she's gonna have kids that we have to worry about. And I guess that's a clever way of going around the we're not going to kill Sydney thing, but I don't want to watch these movies knowing for a fact that I don't have to worry about Sydney, or knowing for a fact that I don't have to worry about a character, because then what's the point in a character being in any dangerous situation? I'm never going to worry. That's not how I want to watch my movie. So if Sydney's never going to die, and they've kind of basically said that many times, they don't want to kill a character of Sydney, do not bring her back. Stop bringing her back. So where do we go from here, right? I don't know if they're gonna want to continue in a direction where Tatum is the main character now and Sydney's just kind of like they want nothing to do with Sydney, or if Tatum is even gonna survive this movie. Like they could throw us a curveball there. But what I do know and what I do want is I want the character of Sydney to be able to take a break and never have to worry about Ghostface in her life. Like, that's what I want more than anything. She doesn't deserve it. She needs to just live a peaceful life with her children, and that's it. You cannot tell me you love this character if you want her to suffer. You cannot. You know what I mean? Like, we're not always gonna have Sydney and Gale running for their lives. Like, Gale, I feel like I've always worried about Gale's well-being more than Sydney's, because Gale just always gave, like, not expendable, but like she's the one, if they're gonna kill somebody, it's gonna be her. I've always felt like that. I was worried about Gale. I didn't worry about Sydney as much. Maybe in like Scream 3 and maybe Scream 4, and that takes me out of the movie because I know I don't have to worry about this person possibly dying. More than anything, I want this movie to do well. As a fan of this franchise, I want the movie to do well so we can get more movies. Also, more than anything, I want Samantha back. You know, I want Samantha Carpenter back. I want Tara back. I want Melissa back. I want Jenna Ortega back. I want these characters back because they were great characters to me. I thought they were great additions to the franchise, and I hope that someday they're able to work everything out and Melissa gets what she deserves, which is the money and the respect and the apology publicly that she deserves for what happened. I think we can get there at some point. I think at some point we'll get there, and all will be well within the Scream franchise, right? And to the Melissa fans that are like crazy and have no common sense, you guys will be back in theaters watching if Melissa comes back. So all this boycotting and all this hate for the movie that you're giving this particular movie, again, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. We don't know the conversations that happened behind the scenes. We don't know. And so if Melissa can come back, you guys will be back too. So that's all I got to say about that. I'm just excited. I'm excited we're getting Scream. I think it's in February, so that's right around the corner. It's not even too far from that. And I will be in theaters watching it. Yeah, Scream 4 was the first I saw in theaters. I saw it like 3 times. Scream 5 I saw twice. Scream 6 I saw twice. So I'll be definitely in theaters watching Scream 7. So I'm eager to see what you guys thought about all of that stuff, as well as what do you feel about the franchise in general. Do you feel like it's going in the right direction? Do you feel like it should just stop? Let me know down below. And with all that being said, guys, as always, have an amazing, blessed, and golden day.